Garam Masala is often called the magic spice because it's used in many Indian dishes for the perfect finishing touch. Rinku Bhattacharya is a cooking teacher, blogger, and the author of Spices and Seasons. Nice to have you back here, Rinku.
Thank you for having me.
So what is your specialty when it comes to Indian food? Just about everything, or?
I like working with seasonal flavors. I think I'm very good at simplifying dishes to make them manageable.
That's true, because sometimes Indian food has so many ingredients, right?
And one of the things I like to emphasize is if you're working with fresh spices, you know, less is sometimes more. Rather than putting 10 older spices, if you put 3 or 4 fresh, rightly toasted spices, you often, yes, exactly.
All right, so you're going to talk to me, explain to us what Garam Masala means.
Garam, the word literally means hot, but in this context, we use it for warm. And this spice is a finishing spice. It's basically a combination of a lot of fragrant spices like cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, star anise, black pepper, and cumin. And the way it works is I've just toasted these spices lightly. And
it gives us a beautiful aroma, right? It smells like fall. Almost.
Yes, exactly. And the purpose for toasting it is not actually to cook the spices. When spices sit around, they sometimes get a little moisture. They have their own natural oils, and if you're heating it up just a little, what you're doing is getting rid of the moisture. You're also releasing more of their natural flavors.
Is that true with any spices?
It's true with any spices, yes.
That's interesting.
In fact, in Indian cooking, you rarely use spices raw. In fact, I should say you almost never use spices raw.
You always kind of toast it and then grind it? Or?
When you're making a spice blend, usually it's recommended to toast it. And if you're cooking them, they're either popped in oil or they're steamed, and the heat helps you release the best in the spices.
All right, so what's our next step here?
Yeah, it's pretty simple. So now that I've toasted it, what this goes into. Yeah, in fact, people always ask me, you know, making your own spices must be very, very cumbersome. It's actually literally toast and grind.
That's it.
Once you know,
this is about a 2-minute drill here.
It is a 2-minute drill once you obviously know what's going into the spices. In fact, in my book, that's why I do have a very extensive spice section, because really, if I had one wish, I want everyone toasting their own spices and using them. So you do get spice grinders. I mean, what I find very practical is just a baseline coffee grinder.
Oh, that works just the same, okay.
Yes. And it's pretty simple. You fit it in.
And you grind them.
Yeah.
So, Rinku, what would you use this now for? Just about anything? When it comes to Indian dishes?
Yes, it's mostly used in savory foods, although given some of the sweet fragrant spices that we have, it also works well. If you want to notch up your spice cake a little bit, instead of something like pumpkin pie spice, you could use something like this. I mean, I will mention, though, each person's blend varies a little.
Bit different,
yes. So I have less of things like cumin and black peppers, so mine is a sweeter blend. This is something my mother had written for me, I don't know, years and years back.
So you stuck with it.
Yes. And I mean, I think the piece of paper was disintegrating, so I thought, you know, I should add it in a book so that...
There you go. Now we can find it published. Talk to me about the Spice Chronicles.
That is my website. It's my blog where I, chronicle my spice journey.
You do a lot with spices, huh?
Yeah,
I mean,
I do love
new
spices. I do a lot.
Trial and error? Some things probably don't work, right?
No, a lot. I mean, I shouldn't say a lot, but I'd say at least a good 10 to 12% sometimes don't work. And well, when you're experimenting as much as me, that's quite a few things, but that's okay. I mean, more things work than not. Sometimes when you're experimenting, you figure out, you know, while something was okay, something else could be better.
That's true. That's why you do it. So how would you store this once you make your nice blend here?
You would store this in an airtight container. I mean, just a simple glass jar. You know, I know people who actually use mason jam jars. They work very well. They're clear. You can actually label your spices, and you know they store well. A dark storage container.
Oh, that smells wonderful. So that was everything we had here. All these spices all together in one.
Yes, there are 7 spices in here. So there's cardamom, cumin, black peppers, cinnamon, star anise, and what did I forget? Cloves.
There we go. Okay. Well, this is fantastic. Now we have our base for if we want to make some Indian food.
Yes. I mean, the one thing that I would mention with garam masala, I mean, I'm seeing a lot of experimental uses of it, which is actually makes me very, very happy. The only thing is, some of these spices, again, I do mention that it's a finishing spice, with the exception of baking.
Okay.
I mean, if you add them too early in the game, your sauce will get a bitter aftertaste.
Ah, okay.
So
good advice there. We won't do that.
Yes.
All right, very good. Well, we appreciate you coming here today.
Thank you for
and
having
where
me.
can we find your blog?
It's spicechronicles.com.
Very nice. All right.
Okay.